Thunder.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm Seal.
And I'm Tiny.
Welcome to the TNT podcast. Today's guest is...
It's Kaøs, also known as Nathan in real life.
Hey, Kaøs.
Did not know that.
Welcome on.
It sounds like Alcohol Anonymous. Like, hi, I'm Nathan. Hi,
I'm Nathan, I'm a Kaøs.
Tell us your sins. I need to hear it. I've heard so much about you.
I know, I don't know what like the worry is like.
You have a reputation.
You appear to be the most
What?
passionate, the most, like, yeah, passion is a good word, of our community so far. Is that a good word?
Sure,
It
we'll
was
go
just
with
a nervous
passionate.
laughter at the end of the last podcast when they were nominating me. I don't know what they were expecting me to say and make me out to be like some sort of raving lunatic or something.
We're all waiting for the joke. We're all waiting for the joke. That's the thing that's like got everyone on the edge of their seat. And this is when you say to us that you haven't prepared one in advance, and then we're all going to be very disappointed.
Wait, is
Yeah,
Chaos?
really.
Are you aware of? Does Chaos know about that?
No.
About what?
But he doesn't know about the joke.
Well,
Well, you
I'll
true
quickly
fan,
Google them.
I was a true fan of the TNT podcast, then obviously.
but don't worry, Chaos. Here you can be yourself. It doesn't matter what the people think. It's who you
We're
are.
classed as an explicit podcast, so
Yes.
we are within reason. Like
And-
you
yeah.
know, there are no limits. But
Through the power of editing, you can say
No,
anything.
no, it's fine. I'll give you guys a joke if that's what we want. Let me just
Okay.
Google
it's what the
that.
people want.
Okay.
Okay, so why do seals live in salt water?
Why?
I don't know.
Because pepper makes them sneeze.
Pretty good.
Jokes.com, let's go.
You can't see me, but I'm kind of I'm like pouting a bit here. I'm mildly amused. Yeah. I will accept it.
Only mildly. That's our.
I accept it's good effort. Anyway, thank you for being here, Chaos, and blessing us with your presence.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
It's all right. How's your day been so far?
I've been pretty chill because work and caffeine. It's pretty much a standard weekday. Hopefully jumping on some United in a bit. We'll see what happens tonight.
Oh, why is that? Why is that? What is happening tonight? What is
Depends how
happening?
this podcast goes. If it gets cancelled, it's no more Unite. That's for threat from Dave. It's not really, but
Oh, good.
Yeah, what can you tell me about your games with Unite these days?
okay, so I play for Team Yellow, and I main V supporters. So I main pretty much the most annoying Pokemon in the world in Sableye. I just run around the map and make people's lives an absolute misery. But yeah, I play pretty much every single support for the team. Recently, I've picked up Comfy, which is a bit more tame, not as chaotic, focusing more on healing. But yeah, Sableye is always in the background, just sort of watching and waiting.
Right on. So does Blissey also fall into that? Does Mew also fall into that?
Mew doesn't, because it's more of an attacker. Honestly, I've tried Mew and it's an absolute nightmare for me. It's probably one of the most technical Pokemon to get good at. Like, we've got Tony who plays Mew, and he's getting very, very, very strong at Mew. So thankfully I don't need to really play it too much. But Blissey's just one of those healers that's point and click and just manage your eggs.
I think Blissey's your sort of area as well, Tiny, no?
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, I've been playing away from the egg build more so recently. I've been playing more of the safeguard and helping hand build recently, but about Chaos, that's kind of what I've been doing more so.
Okay.
I've never actually touched the safeguard build. It's always been eggs.
Oh, haven't you? Oh, I did run double egg for a while, like for a long while. But then safeguard, I think it's with the more machine gun kind of comps with the the fast melt of objectives kind of approach. But yeah, no, I like safeguard helping hand.
This doesn't mean much to me, I'm afraid. When you mention eggs, this doesn't mean much. I get these. I have a friend actually here who watches anime, and the episodes he wants me to watch involve eggs, and I don't want to watch these episodes. I don't want to watch these episodes, okay? But I won't talk more about that.
Oh no, please do.
Hear about the eggs.
I'll give you
Hear about the eggs.
It's anime. Anything can happen.
Off
I
air.
want to know. I want to know about the eggs.
There's a snake. There are eggs. There's a brothel. I don't wanna. I don't wanna do it. I don't wanna do it. So though, Chaos. Tell me, in game when you're with yellow team, who's your best buddy that you co-op with your working support, right? Or does support work for the whole team?
For the whole team, pretty much.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, usually it'll be Tano or Apo because they're our main laners. They'll play the attackers in lane. Tano's been playing a bit of Toronto recently, so that sort of goes hand in hand with our healer. Basically, I'll just jump on him and make him absolutely impossible to kill. But then with Sableye, it kind of does its own thing. It doesn't really work too much with the team early game because I spend most of my time in the enemy jungle and just stealing buffs away. But then when I get into lane, it's for the entire team. Just all the stuns that I give. Hopefully, someone just jumps on a enemy when I manage to stun them.
Okay. And at this moment, are you looking at working with the red team in any way? Do you guys often scrim together? What is the dynamic between yourself and, like, say, Tiny right now?
We've not played together too much actually in my time in Thunder. We did early on when I joined. I think I did my trial with you, Tiny. But yeah, we've scrimmed a little bit in the past, and I've helped out with Red's training when you guys needed a jungler. But yeah, we don't really get involved too much with each of his teams. I think we're just concentrating on sort of building synergy between the two sets of fives.
That's
it's been more important.
No, definitely.
Do you
up against teams that have been playing together for months and months and months? So yeah, we basically just need to stick to fives and practice that synergy.
We had like a little mini tournament on Sunday where me and Zephyr ended up going to three guys on yellow just to basically fill in. So we do it sometimes, but obviously the synergy isn't as there. Like, I've not played with Kaos since the whole roster split, really, not properly. So it's we're kind of there if we need each other, kind of as a sub in, sub out based on roles and things. But obviously it's not as good as sticking with the solid 5-star that you play like every single practice with. In like most days.
And plus, we play pretty much the same roles as well. Yeah,
exactly.
So there's a bit of an overlap. So
it's a bit in common.
Absolutely. No, definitely.
I'm definitely more annoying.
I'm the more typical. I think
you're the more wholesome one.
yeah, I agree. I feel like I'm the more selfless. Like I think like Dave described me as being a nurturing captain. I'm like, oh, that's quite sweet. I think Tony kind of said the same thing. And I feel like, yeah, that kind of goes with the support, the blissy, like, and then I feel like Chaos is literally chaos. Like chaotic roles. So
Sableye with the trolling, Eldegoss with machine gun attacks. Yeah, it's
whereas Sableye, I've not touched Sableye that much, mainly because I've not needed to, because Chaos kind of does that for me. So Sableye's probably the only support I don't really main that well. Like, I can play it if need be, but I'm not as good at it because it's not like a normal support, is it? Really, under any circumstance, it's not It's not really in my skill kit. So that's probably why I've not touched it. But tell us a little bit more about like other games you've played, Chaos. Like, how did you get kind of to this moment? Like, what games did you kind of start playing when you were younger? When did you get into gaming, all that kind of jazz?
Okay, so when I was younger, I think my first system was, what was it called? I think it was called the Amiga. I don't know if either of you guys have heard of it. It was basically just a keyboard that had like a floppy disk drive that you put games into, like a really, really old system.
Who are you? Where are you from? What world have you? What? Like, wait, it's an actual keyboard. Do you put? How old are you?
I'm only 30. Calm down.
Okay.
No, most of my consoles have been sort of hand-me-downs, usually from my uncle. But yeah, it was a super old system. It had like a game called Flashback on it. I don't know if you've heard of that. It recently come out on the Nintendo eShop as a re-release. Pretty much platformer games, and then after that it was onto like the Sega Mega Drive and playing things like Sonic and Road Rash and things like that. And then after that it was straight onto Pokemon on the Game Boy. I got a Game Boy Color and a copy of Pokemon Yellow for Christmas, and yeah, never looked back since.
That was my first Pokemon. That was my first Pokemon game as well.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I picked up Pokemon
We play it
Yellow
from time to time.
Did you ever just random thing that just came to mind during your childhood stuff? Did you ever collect the cards?
Yeah.
Do you know how rich we could be right now?
100%. I had a Charizard from the base set. I don't know if it was first edition or what, but I think that's been long since binned, many years ago. But yeah, that's one card that I remember having and kind of wish was held on to. But to be fair, it would probably be absolutely battered and creased to hell by now, if I'd kept hold of it. But yeah, because anything Pokemon related back then, and even now, to be honest, played every single game. I used to play competitively in the VGC circuit as well. Did that for a few years, and then it just happened across Unite, and yeah, not really gone back since.
What is VGC exactly?
So it's the video game championship. So it's like the events from the main games. So it's like regional events and national events where you get a team of 6 and you battle people in tournaments. It's all double battles, so you've got 2 Pokemon on the field at a particular point of time. But yeah, I did that for a good, probably up until COVID. So from like 2014 until COVID hit. I used to do that and travel the world playing Pokemon, which was like a kid's dream, I guess.
What was your best result from playing like VGC championships?
Sort of I won a couple of locals, but they're like the smallest sort of priority tier. They give out the least championship points. Probably my best results was sort of like 2015. I got top 32 in nationals.
Oh, wicked.
In like 2017 or 18, I can't remember which year it was. They kind of blur into two, so the formats were pretty similar. I got top 32 in the Latin American internationals, and then a couple of top 16 in regionals. I wasn't the best player, but I had a couple of decent results.
That sounds wicked.
It was more for obviously I did it more for the traveling, to be perfectly honest, and then also the friends I made along the way.
Would you say it was your friends that sort of motivated you through that journey? Like, you obviously felt like you wanted to do it, and maybe you had something to prove. Like, what kept you going through that?
It was just the social aspect. I made friends across the entire world, whether it was actually in person or just through the internet playing games or on Facebook groups. Yeah, made friends across the world, and it was just a good excuse to go and hang out with them by going to these tournaments.
That's so cool.
There was like a group I was in from like the age of maybe 16, 17, and got to meet a couple of the guys, a couple of the European guys. There's Max, who lives in Germany, and I got to meet him a few times. Johan, who lives in Sweden, and I met him as well at one of the events. But yeah, it was definitely the social aspect that kept me going. The actual playing games, like I said, I wasn't the best player, definitely wasn't the worst, but I wasn't going with the sort of hope of winning a tournament, if you know what I mean. It was the fun of taking part, I guess, and obviously meeting up with friends.
That is such a good mindset to have. Oh my word. I love that. What part of the UK does this event take place? Is it within the UK? Does it still exist?
All over the world. So in the UK, I guess the easiest way to describe it is there's 3 tiers of tournaments. So you've got your Premier Challenges, which are like locals, and they're sort of anywhere across like your own nation. So they can be in different cities in the UK, and they happen several times a year. And then you've got your regional events, which for the European region, it happens all across Europe. There's quite a few events in Germany or in Sweden. I went to one in Prague as well. There's a couple in the UK as well as that. And then the biggest events are the international championships. So each region has their own international championship. So Europe, it's usually in either Germany or England. Latin America, when I went to that one, that was in Brazil. And then North America have their own as well. But yeah, they're all over the place.
What? I can say I've also been to Prague.
Beautiful place.
It is.
Happened to end up staying in it was like the tournament was being held in a 5-star hotel, and ended up being able to stay in a hotel because for some reason like the rooms were like £30-40 a night on offer for that week. So I was super lucky. So between rounds I just got to go back to my room instead of waiting in the tournament hall for an hour for the next set of pairings.
Oh, that sounds cool. You know what? They also have really good beer there.
I couldn't believe how cheap it was.
Yeah.
Like,
it is quite cheap, yeah.
All the restaurants, I think me and my partner, we we went to a restaurant that looked like a really high-end fancy restaurant, and we didn't really care about how much it was. It was just getting some good food and something to drink. I think our meal only came to about 15 quid between the two of us. It was so cheap.
That is a result.
One of my friends stayed in Prague, and she'd one time she showed me basically she went interrailing with like all her like old school friends, and so basically did it on the cheap, and they stayed in this €8 a night youth hostel, and better 20 people to a room, but all bunk beds kind of vibe. And she went, "Oh yeah, I stayed here." I was just, "Oh, maybe we could go there." And I was just like, "No." Like, and I looked at one of the reviews, and it was written by a German. It was written by a German person, so the English was a bit, but you could kind of make a sense of what they were saying. But basically, what they said is that yes, it's €8 a night. However, I spent €75 on pharmacy bills due to try and treat myself for bed bugs. So I was just like, "Nah, that is not for me." But I'm sure if you stay in a lovely hotel, especially a 5-star one, I'm sure you'd be absolutely fine.
I've stayed in hostels before. I definitely think they get a bad rap. There was a tournament I went to in London, and there was 5 of us going down. And obviously, it's centre of London, so we're not going to pay out for a hotel there because it's ridiculously expensive. And it was, I think it was £20 for 2 nights each. So we stayed in this hostel. And surprisingly, it was, clean. And the beds were pretty private as well. They had like their own curtains over each one, so it didn't feel like you were just being stared at by some random creep from a couple of beds away.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not too bad, I guess.
I didn't realize
you choose to stay. I prefer my own privacy.
You've been around so much. This guy's growing on me. I like him.
Ain't growing on you.
He's growing on me.
Growing on you should have been grown on you in the first place.
Is that
in Finland, Jetman? That's definitely on the bucket list.
Where?
Finland.
Okay, yeah. Dude, this place is something else. Like, we've just come through winter. I didn't realize how messed up I was until I started seeing the sun again, and I was like, wait a minute. I feel human again.
I go to like Copenhagen at least 3 times a year. Literally my favorite place in the world. So yeah, I go there as much as possible.
Copenhagen. I went there over New Year's. New Year's, yeah, and Christmas.
Korean guy, yeah, with the South Korean guy.
Yes, yeah, and I was launching fireworks at people. It was great.
What?
Yeah, I was launching fireworks at New Year's. It was great. Man, Copenhagen is amazing. I recommend it.
I'm not going if you're going. If you're going to fire fireworks at me,
I will not fire fireworks at you. I will fire them into the canal at tourists. Yes.
I'm sure the fish would love that.
You know, weirdly enough, the best part of my Copenhagen stay was the McDonald's. I actually loved the McDonald's there.
It's mad how different all of McDonald's food is, isn't it?
It's just delicious.
Like in Denmark, they have like proper chicken. It's not whatever we have over here in ours, like proper chicken wings and stuff like that.
So that we'll also put that on the list of things to bug Dave with.
Group trip to Copenhagen specifically for McDonald's.
Yeah, we had Japan, maybe Finland, some lands over around the UK as well.
No, what we've got to say is Dave, you owe us McDonald's for for our effort and our publicity and and
tell
him
pain
which
and
one.
suffering.
Just don't tell him which one. Just say, oh yeah, no, we're gonna go to this one, and they don't deliver. We're gonna have to go and collect.
Let's go Copenhagen. Let's go. Dude, they have some esport offices there. I went to an academy in Copenhagen where they're training gamers.
No way.
Yes.
Where was that?
This was just outside the city. I had to take a bus. Tricked.gg. Check it out. And they have their own academy where they don't compete themselves, but they will train their gamers, and then they sell their gamers to Astralis, who also have their office there.
That's insane.
It's amazing.
I never knew that.
Yeah, and I went in their offices, and I just saw the coach chilling with a team, and then they had a load of youngsters there just learning how to throw smokes in Inferno, and it blew my mind because I was actually quite a low point in my journey where I didn't feel like I could do it. I didn't feel like I could actually contribute to esports in any way, and I was like, what am I doing here? I should have stayed a chef. And it wasn't until I went to this office and I looked and I could see things happening, it blew my mind and it gave me new hope.
See, Copenhagen, most beautiful and inspirational place in the world.
Yeah.
And they can give me my commission when we get a load of tourism.
So very much like I wanted to ask you a question about where or who or what you were doing when someone extended their hand out and offered you a place here at TNT, or how did you get involved in exactly?
I just saw a post on Facebook. So I was already on a team. I was on a team called Team Menace, and it was founded by an Australian streamer. And we had two teams. So we had an Australian team, then we had an international team. And when we say international team, it really was international. Like we had an Australian player, we had someone from Singapore.
Yeah.
So thinking about it, we couldn't actually participate in any tournaments together because I think you need, isn't it like 3 players from the home region or something like
I
that?
remember something like that, yeah.
And we definitely didn't have that. So I started to look for another team and just happened across Dave posting on Facebook that Thunder were looking for players. So I gave it a quick Google just to see if it was a legit esports sort of organization or if it was just something that some kid was making in his mum's basement, and then came across
Or
the
Dave, bless
Thunder
him.
website. It's just the vibe he gives off. And then came across the website, and yeah, I was like, sign me up. I think you guys were looking for a support and tank player, so I came in playing the tanks, I think, initially. And then in my
Yeah.
trial, I started playing Espeon because my Espeon play is quite strong. And I think we just needed an attacker at that point. And then I started moving on to the supports again. But yeah, that's how I came across it. Just a single Facebook post and Dave giving me an opportunity.
Well, that's cool. That is cool. Well, I was gonna ask a little bit about the office. Did you ever visit?
No, I've not been down yet, no.
Is it somewhere that you would like to visit?
Yeah, 100%. When I think we're meant to be arranging a team meetup, aren't we, when the New Jerseys come in? So I'll be looking forward to coming down and meeting everyone. But it's a bit out of the way just for like a weekend jaunt because I'm up in Leeds and I think the office is down in Birmingham, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You get to go on the fun bus with Tano and Apo.
Can't
They
wait
had
for that.
they had so much fun last time. Yeah.
Wait, didn't we talk about this in the last cast?
I might not have done. I might have actually spared Tano the embarrassment, but basically he accidentally spilled an entire can of Red Bull on his trousers.
Brilliant.
So the entire day he'd had, because bear in mind the coach trip's like what, about 3 hours because it's about half the price of the train. He had these like sticky
Sticky
jogging
jeans.
trousers. He had sticky joggy bottom trousers, and then he couldn't clean them up with the toilet because coach toilets disgusting. So he just kind of sat there and just dealt with it.
Oh, Tano.
I'm just surprised their care home let him out for a weekend. That's crazy. Did Dave have to sign any commission papers or?
No. Apo broke him out. Big guns
Broke him
and
out.
big guns. Yeah. He abseiled down the side of the building. Opened the window and just drag him out.
In his little cousin's t-shirt, just to make him look a bit bigger.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
In case any of the other pensioners give him some trouble.
Yeah, no, he had to carry him out though because he forgot his Zimmer frame, so he had to kind of carry him all the way out. But yeah,
typical Tanner.
Yeah.
So if I go traveling with TNT, I just have to bring a towel. I need a towel.
Yeah.
I don't think he's that old where he just wets himself on. I think he'll be fine. I think he can control it.
He might need some tennis for men, but otherwise, yeah, it's fine.
I so think we should get a TNT bus and we can put Dave's face on the front and we all climbing through his mouth or on the side or something.
What?
No? We could just put a big picture of him on the side of the bus, where the door is.
Oh god.
And then we will just climb in and then we can go do land things, right? I think
the things I thought we'd be discussing on this podcast, I didn't think entering Dave's mouth would be one of them, but here we are.
Here we are. No, we've got to make sure we put Tano in the front seat, the one that's easily accessible.
Of course.
Easy accessibility.
Look after the senior citizens.
I might have to catheterize him first just so he doesn't pee everywhere. But
It's so harsh because I swear he's probably the youngest member of the actual yellow team.
He's older than me. He's older than me, so I'm allowed to say it.
Oh, fair enough.
And don't you dare to get how old I am, Kaøs. I swear to God.
I'll resist. I'll resist for now. It's fine.
So
I don't know why the age thing is such a running joke in the org.
I
but
don't know. I
it's
don't
such
know
an
because
easy-
Tanner's definitely not the oldest at all.
He just
And
looks up.
I'm
No,
and I'm definitely oh, bless him. Bless him. Oh dear. Oh, and I'm younger than him, and you said I was 40, so and I'm like
be
24.
nice.
How dare you? Anyway.
no, I
Oh,
was just gonna ask, like, with Team Yellow, what are you working towards so far?
We are basically just trying to find a comp that actually works for us. With the org, we've had quite a lot of sort of disruption in getting sort of like a settled 5. So it's been kind of difficult to work on that. I mean, the last ton we were in, other than the one on the weekend, was the first UCS qualifier. And we literally had a team that we'd put together the night before that seemed to work. And it did all right. We just didn't play it too well because we weren't fully synergized. So yeah, we're just working now on getting an actual comp together that we're all fully comfortable with and can perform with. We had a really constructive training session last night where we came up with a new comp that we'd never tried before, and we won the majority of our games together. Yeah, that's because what we're working on at the moment. Because individually, we're all very, very strong players. Like we've got great micro, macro. It's just working as a 5 and finding a comp that lets us sort of flourish, I guess.
That's good to hear. I wanted to ask you a personal question.
Yeah, shoot.
Ask you So, when was the last time you had a kebab?
A month ago, maybe.
Why?
Why did I have one, or why has it been a month?
I mean, usually, like when people have to get kebabs, it's because that we're trying to sate a certain need.
I'm not sure I follow.
No,
last time I had a kebab, and it was the reason why I had the kebab was because I was drunk on a night out and I needed something to like soak up the alcohol. Is that the sort of answer you were looking for?
you bang on, yes, nurse.
Thank you. I'm not a nurse.
I'm so sorry, but I'm super dull now. Like I barely go out. I used to work in hospitality. I used to manage bars for, I think I did that for 3-4 years, and it just puts you off doing overnight shifts and seeing the states people get into and the states you get into yourself after the shifts. So yeah, I barely go out anymore.
Not fair. What do you do when you're not playing Unite or with TNT?
If I'm not on Unite, I'm usually traveling. Yeah, we go abroad 3-4 times a year, maybe. We just do general stuff. We go out on weekends, go to sort of like the arcades and stuff that we live near. Honestly, pretty dull. there's not an awful lot going on.
That's fair. That's fair.
Work kind of takes over. Very, very draining. But yeah, most of the time we have is sort of spent just traveling. On one thing to do outside of playing games.
Right. Is your work is it online stuff?
So I work in conveyancing. So it's basically dealing with the sales and purchase of property. So super boring, but also super stressful at the same time.
Interesting. Can we get a team house?
Why didn't you tell me this? Well, I'm literally waiting for this buyer to come back to me on this offer that I've put on for this apartment. But you could have told me this sooner.
Oh, you sound like my day. Please stop. Yeah, that's pretty much all my job is. It's just people like Tiny getting on the phone and having a bitch and a moan because somebody's not got back to them in 10 seconds.
Yeah, my seller's on holiday, so the estate agents have had to literally WhatsApp them, and they said, and the guy literally called and went, "I'm really sorry, I was hoping to tell you today because basically I'm in a situation where, me and the other buyer are basically doing like a blind best and final offer. Whoever gets it sort of thing. So it's a bit stressful." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm really sorry. I've WhatsApped her, and it's literally on one tick, so she's not received it." And I'm like, "Okay, so I'll try it tomorrow." I was like, "Cool," and just hung up. I was like, "Yeah, fine."
It sounds like it's turning into like a game show. You could bring it onto the podcast, get all your bidders in on the podcast together, and you could do an auction.
Oh,
What, for the house I want to try and buy?
Yeah, get everyone involved, and then we can rig it so you win it. It's all good.
I love a good rigging.
I thought you said something else then, Jesus Christ.
Same.
What, you can rig a house for me?
So me and Chaos are on a similar wavelength here. We're both just as inappropriate as each other, I think, at this point.
Where's that meme of if I speak, I'm in trouble?
I'm not speaking, I'm just laughing.
You can very much be yourself here. Very much whatever is on the mind, we can express it. Some things are going over my head, but nonetheless, I mean, we've still got maybe some more things to get through, right?
Point is, it's not
That's
going
fine,
over. It's not going over your head. It's going over the other side.
I still don't get it.
Fine, I'll send you a pamphlet later on the thing that sounds like rigging, and it'll be a good read for you. Some pillow talk.
Right on. I look forward to that.
It might. You never know. You might have. It might happen in the sauna. Who knows?
Yeah, anything's possible. These saunas are magic. They are.
I mean, the sauna sausage is one thing, but this could be something completely different. Oh dear.
I'll have to let you know about that. I have to let you know.
This is quite amusing, actually.
Like the Finns can be really shy. So
I mean, trust me, that would not be a shy experience.
Yeah, that's it. See. I just assume that you're going on a holiday again soon.
Ideally April. I was meant to be going away in March to Holland because there was another Pokemon VGC tournament there. But for some reason now the tickets are stupid expensive after COVID. Like just to enter it's about 60-70 euros. And then obviously you've got to pay for your flights and stuff like that.
Which part of Holland is it?
Utrecht.
Oh, Utrecht!
I've got family in Utrecht.
No way!
Mm-hmm.
I used to date an au pair from Utrecht.
Yeah, I'm probably not saying it right, to be fair. I've not actually visited. It's one of the only places in Holland I've not actually visited, to be fair, because I've got my dad's cousin lives there, but then I've also got a family member who lives in Roosendaal, and I went over there with my cousins and we did like a whole interrailing thing. But I went during COVID. Like we had to do the whole swab before you go, swab when you come back and report it to the government, whatever. It was the whole thing, and I've got quite a few funny stories from that trip. But basically, we didn't go to Utrecht purely because there you had to isolate. You couldn't just go there and come back. You had to do another swab just to literally get into that city because it was like a COVID hotspot at the time. So I didn't actually go there, which is funny. But I almost wasn't allowed in the country, and I almost wasn't allowed out of the country again because my COVID swab was in the whole 10 minutes late, like 10 minutes overdue, because the gate opened late. So my argument was, well, if the gate opened on time, I'd be okay. So that's not on me because I did the test well within the time limit. But anyway, so they did let me on eventually. So I thought, so my cousins are there because they did theirs literally in the car in the airport car park, and I didn't. And and on the way back, the baggage allowance was shocking. Like it was so bad. I literally took in my work bag for an entire week, like Monday to Sunday, because I was staying at like my auntie's. I could like wash more of my clothes, so I just kept washing like the same underwear like over and over again. Basically, it was horrible. And but I didn't realize I'd left a knife, like a butter knife, in my bag from work because I used it to like, obviously eat my salad at work. On the way there, Luton didn't care. Luton let me fly. Jet2 didn't care. Fine, whatever. Then I came back and Schiphol Airport were like, "Why have you got a knife in your bag? Why are you bringing a knife to the UK?" And I'm just there like,
to eat my salad.
It's my salad knife for work, and it was just Wilko's. It was Wilko's like plastic handled butter knife. And she literally, and of course, it was like in one of those back pockets of my bag. And also, they wanted me to empty my bag to find it. So, of course, this lady's taking out all my underwear, like bras, everywhere. And I'm just stood there like, my cousins are pissing themselves, waiting for me to come through customs. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was just there like, oh my God, I just wanted to die. And then she found it, and I thought, wait, I was like, cool, you can keep it like it's a butter knife, I really don't care. But no, she gave it back to me and just chucked me the tray at me. And I was just like, cool. Just like packing it all back in this rucksack. It was bad. It was bad. It was the moon.
Worst experience going through an airport. It was coming back from Germany. I was in Frankfurt, and I got to like the security bit where you have to put your bag through, and my bag flagged. So it's inconvenient, but whatever. I went round to the other side of the desk, and it got separated out to this guy who took my bag, ran it through some other sort of scanner thing, and was taking swabs, and he was taking absolutely ages. I was like, what the hell have I left in there? Because I was pretty sure that I'd taken everything out. The only things I hadn't taken out was like my Nintendo DS, because it's too small to ever get flagged, and it never had been anyway. So yeah, I was stuff there, like, what on earth has he found? And he came back and was just like, why is there traces of explosives in your bag? I was like, don't know. And he's just looking at me like super suspiciously. And I just started laughing because I was just like, nervous laughter. And then he's just like, very quickly, no, it's not funny, and waved someone over. I had 2 armed police behind me, just staring at me. And he's just like, oh no, why have you got explosives in your bag? I was like, I don't. If there is any, please find them, because I don't want them. And he was like ripping my bag apart, handing my electronics to like this police guy. And he was like handing it to me like, turn it on. I was like, okay. I had to turn on every single piece of electronic that I had with me. And then
like if I thought there were explosives in the bag, man, the last thing I would do is
turn them on.
Yeah.
It's a game of chicken. It's a game of chicken. Like, do it. I dare you. Do it. Do it now.
You see me sweating like, I don't want to turn this one on. Hoping I'd crack. But no, I got to the end of the bag, and then all my stuff sort of scattered around this train. He just picked it all up, dumped it on, and was like, okay, fine. And then sent me on my way. And I was like, but what was it then? Like, is my bag going to explode on the plane? Or like, no idea what it was still to this day. But yeah, having 2 armed German police officers stood behind me, getting me to turn my electronics on, wasn't a good end to a holiday, I guess.
Not gonna lie, I was a little bit nervous coming back from Amsterdam, because we were with the Interrailing.
Why?
We stayed a night in Amsterdam, then came back, and of course, we know what it's like. It's all illegal weed and things. You know what it's like. So of course, I'm thinking, shit, is like my bag got any kind of like weed smell on it, I'm gonna be screwed. But literally everywhere, the entirety of Amsterdam smells of weed. So like, I could literally not have had any of it, and I probably still would have been flagged regardless. So it's just like, well.
I mean,
but
from my experience, the smell of weed isn't that bad. It's when they find the 2 kilograms of hash inside you, that's the issue.
I mean, I've seen plenty of like illicit substances at work, as you can imagine. So it's just kind of like, oh. I mean, literally, I was in A&E one time, and this guy came in and he'd overdosed. He basically had some like cocaine or something, and it was cut with something. There was a thing in my home city where there was like a batch of cocaine or heroin or whatever that's been cut with petrol, and most people come in really unwell. And this person came in and he was like really unwell, like he was rushed straight into resource, like tubes coming out of him, everything. And then they came to us like from the pharmacy team, like, oh, because there's a rule that basically if there's enough illicit drugs on somebody that it's for personal use, you don't have to report them to the police, because it's like patient confidentiality and all that kind of malarkey. But if it's enough to deal to other people, then it's classed as being like protecting the public, like you're divulging that confidentiality to protect members of the public. So they came to us and we were like, yeah, he's only got enough there for himself. Don't ask why my senior could make that judgment. Like, yes, that seems about enough for one more go. Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know how he made that decision, but he did. So whatever, fine. But then literally another guy came in straight after with the same symptoms. We thought, maybe it's somebody else. And they came in with no word of a lie, a big brick full of cocaine, like a brick, like literally, like wrapped in a bin bag, just a brick of cocaine, and a set of scales. And they said, yeah, do you think this guy's got enough to deal? And we're just like, I mean, he's got a set of scales and he's got a brick, so I feel like, yeah. And they were like, cool, should we lock it away? I'm like, And then they wanted to know if it was cocaine or not. And because it ends in A and it's like a local anaesthetic, so my senior, literally no word of a lie, put his finger in this brick and then rubbed a bit on his hand and like flicked his hand and went, oh, my hand feels numb. Yes, that's cocaine. And it's like,
his hand went numb.
Yeah, because anything that ends in A is like a local anaesthetic, like lidocaine, what you put on your teeth.
But his hand, how does that get into your skin? You put it on the gum, and then
because it's transdermal drug absorption. So basically, it goes through the pores in your skin, and that's why I have numbing cream. You know, when people get tattooed and they don't want to like feel the needles, they get like a cream and they put it on the skin. And,
Yeah.
yeah,
Or
or
just
like
go to Tiny's house and get the massive brick of cocaine.
Or like if girls want to get their ears pierced, they want to put numbing cream on it so it doesn't hurt as much. Like it's like lidocaine cream or benzocaine cream.
I just
It's what's in Bonjela. You know, when you have mouth ulcers, it's the same thing. It's just a numbing agent.
I just had the best idea. Best idea.
Oh,
Guess
God.
what? So you know those slapping tournaments that you see on TikTok, right?
Did you see that guy get absolutely messed up in one of those? Like his face literally ballooned like double the size. And if you saw that, that was mental.
I'm gonna cover my hand in lidocaine, and then I'm gonna or I'm gonna cover their hand in lidocaine. So when they slap me, it's numb.
No, it's numb for them. It's not numb for you.
Wait,
You've not thought that through. Cover your face.
no, wait. What if if I put it on their hand and then the hand slaps me on the face? It's gonna be a numb slap. I won't feel it.
No. That's not how it works. They won't feel anything from slapping you, but you'll definitely feel them slapping you.
I think we should test it.
You'll want to put. Okay, I'll happily test it because I mean, because I know I'm right.
You're a so-called pharmacist, but I think we should test this.
I mean, I'm happy just to put lidocaine in your face and just watch your face go all numb. Numb. And you can't like open your eye because it's just gone numb and it just like flops.
I'm willing to do it. I'm willing to try it.
It's the initiation for the for Birmingham offices. When you visit, you just get time slapping you with AIM drugs.
No. You're not gonna. No, I'll put on the lidocaine cream on another person's hand just to prove that that's not going to make a difference to you. But I'm not the one that's going to slap you because face it, I'll probably be the weakest slap. I need to either like Jake or Tunak to slap you instead.
I think you can get into it after. It'll take like one or two to like get your pump going.
Loosen up.
Oh, yeah. Actually, to be fair, I could put lidocaine on Tunak's hand and not put any on Jake's, and they could both slap you. You could tell which one's worse. We'll do it. And we'll have to swap sides to make it fair.
TNT slap tournament coming to you live.
It's not a tournament. It's not a tournament. No. It's just us slapping you. Is it?
It's content. It's content. I can see it happening. I can see it. I'm wearing the t-shirt.
I could see the editing that I could do when they go, with the whole this my shit. And they go doom 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 with like the slap.
I'm here for you to slap my shit. Yeah.
Or the smack that, smack that, and just edit it over the top, and that'd be golden. That'd be absolutely golden content.
All right, we'll put that on the idea pile.
Plaster it all over Twitter.
I mean, it's not. I've had worse ideas. I've had worse.
I'd like to hear it because my pharmacy brain's just like, nope, that is not going to work.
Well, so
I mean, it will work. It'll work for Tunak and Jake because they won't get their hand won't hurt, but it won't work for you. If anything, actually, might be worse for you because they're not going to have the inhibition of their hand hurting. They're just going to hit you, and it's not going to hurt that much.
Plus, they don't really know me.
Tell the Brawl Star Americans about it, and we'll just when they come over to the Birmingham office, all expenses paid for by Dave, of course. We'll just start doing it like it's just a normal TNT. What are these Europeans doing?
Start smacking the shit out of each other. Oh
no, we just need to get we just need to come up with like a ritual. Like I'm Finding Nemo where they go shock bait hoo ha ha. We should do that or something of that nature, like in the Birmingham office, and they're gonna come and be like, what the hell? Who are these like satanic European gamers? What is this?
Joe, we could
just thinking of like Hot Fuzz and the Greater Good. I think it's all of us in cloaks.
It's for the greater good. The greater good. There's Dave in the middle with a different colour gown on.
Yes, King Dave. King D.
Big D.
Big D. Big D. He's the D we all need.
No, thank you.
No.
My girlfriend would not be impressed.
I don't know. I just thought it was catchy.
What you go to in the salons is your own business, dude. Don't worry.
Well, to be honest, most people here know. It's not like I'm trying
in the thin sauna.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
All right, guys. I'm pretty chill with what we have so far.
Fabulous.
I think we're good. I think we're good.
I
Plus,
I
Tiny
think
needs
we're
food
good too.
too.
What's that, sorry?
I said plus Tiny needs food. So, right?
Yeah, I probably need a shower too because rest wall and coughing and bleh.
Oh.
Probably a
Ugh.
cheeky bit of RSV on these scrubs. Who knows?
What is that?
Oh, respiratory. Yeah, it's like a it's like a respiratory viral infection. It's not. It's all right. Could be worse. Could be COVID. Could be tuberculosis. Could be a lot worse. But still,
Oh. Okay.
it's
Oh.
fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Tiny, thank you again tonight for being so good.
It's okay.
Good
Thank you
effort.
for teaching me about cocaine, Tiny.
That's
Thank
okay,
you,
anytime.
Tiny. We're more
Teaching you
aware.
and teaching how local anesthetic does not work in the themes of slapping seal. But anyway. Oh my
Yeah.
god, you could. Oh no, that's for thought. It is literally like a steel slap, like a. Like, no? Okay.
Slap seal.
Just make the seal noise again now, save it, and I'll just say it's my phone's ringtone.
Okay, if we get 5 people in the if we get 5 people in the comments, ask for slap the seal, I will make it happen. I will make it
I'm
happen.
going to share the shit out of the YouTube clip.
Yes. Yes. Righto. Kaøs, you have also been wonderful tonight.
Oh, thank you for having me on, guys.
That's all good.
I'd like you to nominate our next person, please.
Ooh. Let's get our fiery Spaniard on. Let's get Tunak on. He can teach us all about tapas and siestas.
That
I
sounds
love a
okay.
good siesta.
Yeah,
And I love tapas.
Yeah, hey, that sounds lovely. Okay.
Fabulous.
Again, thank you so much, Kaøs. I wish you the best of luck for all your games for now and the future.
Oh, thank you, bud. And all the best to you for all your podcast endeavours as well.
Well, thank you.
Cheers.
I'll see you on the other side.
Yes. So
tomorrow.
For then, we will find that next person, a spicy Spaniard. I can't wait. It should be good, right?
Keep it together. Keep it together.
I don't know. I'm good. We're steering this ship straight. All right. Again, till next time. Thank you, boys and girls.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.